Done. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hey! అట్లా పోతాడు.
So what all we had till now? We had chanting of the shloka.
Yes, Prabhuji. And Kirtana.
Okay, very good. Hare Krishna. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana-Shalakhaya Chakshumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namne. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashadi Veshatarine. Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everybody. So people are taking its time to join, but I think we start. We'll not wait. Uma Mataji, everybody is reminded in the WhatsApp groups to join. Devika Shetty Mataji, who is there? Indira, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
In the
I am-
WhatsApp groups, been reminded people.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Otherwise, tell them, all the people. Okay. There are 4 things I think they should get. Number 1, they should get notes of the class. Number 2, they should get a PDF. Then a link for the videos, and the 4th is the quiz. 4 things we have to remind them to do the quiz, to give them the notes, give them the FAQs, and the link for the class video. These 4 things, every time we need to give them. Hare Krishna. Day 2, day 3, day 4. So journey is big journey. It's like sitting in a train for 18 days. And along with the class that we do, if you also every day read the Bhagavad Gita, that will be very nice. Because in the class, I can just touch on the main points. I'm not reading every verse, not studying every purport, which is not possible, practically not possible. We do some half an hour, 40 minutes of study, brief study of a chapter, and then it is for you to make a deep study of every chapter and get a good understanding. Just like in a college, textbook is most important for a good student. The textbooks are written with a great interest. Textbooks are written with great experts. The same way, The teacher is different always in a college, and the textbook writer is different. Textbook writer is always a great expert. A teacher is generally not the writer of the textbook. So similarly, I may explain little, but I am not the person who wrote the textbook written by the Acharya Prabhupada. It's a very beautiful book. I request you read the textbook nicely. Either online you can read, or also you can read by physical books and get a good perspective. So Jnana Yoga, Yoga of Knowledge. So first chapter was observing the battlefield, and the second chapter was the answering the Arjuna's question. Third chapter was how work can we worship. We studied yesterday, and today is what is real knowledge. There is one college I go here. The slogan is knowledge is power. Big slogans people put. Work is worship, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. What is knowledge first? That is define knowledge first. Because Veda means knowledge. Is everything knowledge? No. It's a big thing. Knowledge is not easy. Yoga of knowledge. How? By knowledge we can worship God. Okay? Gyan, yoga. Connection to the Lord has to be there, otherwise it's not yoga. It will be called Gyan Bhoga, not Gyan Yoga. We wanting what do you want? Jnana Yoga, not Gyan Bhoga. Karma Bhoga. Karma Bhoga. When you do activity, then enjoy the result. And when you think and enjoy your thoughts, your intellectual property, that is Jnana Bhoga. But when you are trying to understand something for the worship of God, that is Jnana Yoga, connected to the Lord, not disconnected. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagam Uchate. So here is the Bhagavad Gita. I have another cover with me, which I study. Take a same book in a different cover. Hare Krishna. History of Bhagavad Gita. This Bhagavad Gita is so interesting. It teaches us even how to receive this book. You know, a medicine bottle says how the medicine should be read. So in any house, it will be in India, Bhagavad Gita will be there. Generally, we buy 1 rupee, 2 rupee from sometimes from Gita Press, or we have some other editions. But most of the time, not 100%, most of the time, it doesn't follow this instruction of Krishna. You go to any place, suppose you say you have an operation to be done. It's first thing you ask, is the doctor qualified? That is the first concern, because you may die. You're marrying your daughter. You always investigate, is a husband proper? Similarly, you are reading Gita. First thing, who is the speaker? Who has written this book? Very important. So, but we don't say that. Here, Krishna is very careful about that. He says, Ivam vivasvite yogam proktavan hamavayam vivasvan manave praham manu Kave Abravit, the first thing Krishna says in the chapter, I taught it to sun god Arjuna, this knowledge. This chapter starts with no question by Arjuna, rather Krishna is teaching by his own pleasure to Arjuna. He said, I taught this knowledge to sun god, taught to Vivasvan, Vivasvan taught to Manu, that's how the knowledge has come down. Then, see, the knowledge is coming down. Krishna God, sun god to Manu, here is Manu now. Manu talked to Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku was the king on earth, on Surya Vamsha. Correct? Sun god coming, this is Surya Vamsha. Evam parampara praptam imam rajaya vidu sakale neha mahata yoga nashta parantapa. In this way, this knowledge was received in a parampara. Parampara means this is called parampara. Krishna to Vivasvan to Vaivasvata Manu, Manu to Ikshvaku. Evam parampara bhavtam. This knowledge was therefore received in a Guru parampara with great Raja Rishis. Sakalene mahata, but the knowledge is lost. Now, sometimes some people say, Swamiji, okay, you are telling some interpretation of Gita, but I read another interpretation. If there are two interpretations of Gita which are different from each other, either one is wrong or both are wrong. They cannot be interpretation. They should be very clear. I don't know how you are able to agree with me. Say you reading what do you call science today? Science means suppose you went to some college in say Bangalore and you studied Newton's laws, and then you went to Germany, you see the same thing they are teaching. Independent of the place, independent of the time, the knowledge is same. Then into Africa, South Africa, and then you migrated there. Same thing they're teaching there. Same standard it is. It's not that in Africa it's equal to 3 MA, in India it is a 2 MA. You can take it as 7 MA. No, same. You cannot change. So similarly, the spiritual knowledge cannot be interpreted. It is same. But you have to, how you will know that? You have to hear from, you have to learn from authorized people. They don't teach nonsense. They teach same thing. But today, so much interpretation is going on, the people get so frustrated. You go and forget even opening books. You ask anyone, one uncle, Uncle, who is Krishna? He'll give one idea. Like when I was a child, I asked some visitor, who is Krishna? He said, some politician. Oh, politician. That's all you get picture. So you get all funny pictures. One gives you one picture, another person gives you another picture. And they say, one path is as good as another path. There are 108 paths, somebody is telling me. So it is not 1008 paths. Yeah. You can create as many paths. There is one path. Even approaching God, there is one way, not many ways. Different processes, different religions, different spiritual practices take you to different degree to the Lord. Path is one, not this way, that way, that way. There is one path to God, but your different process will take you to different degree. So now in the first shlokas, Krishna has emphasized that parampara is extremely important. And otherwise, why does he repeat the parampara? Evam parampara praptam. In fact, when you go to distribute the Bhagavad Gita to public, we always point out one very important thing. What is that? We open the Bhagavad Gita to them, and then we always show a page in the Bhagavad Gita. Always, this is how we ISKCON, we distribute Bhagavad Gita. There's around 40 paintings itself explaining the concept and including the picture that you're seeing. And it will always have what we know as Guru Parampara here. The people read that we show them this is the Guru Parampara. And Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, this book should be studied in Guru Parampara. Immediately people say, I want this. We want an authorized book. Because the book itself says it should be studied in Guru Parampara. So if you are studying the book, why not follow the way book says it should be taken? Suppose the medicine bottle says it should be taken twice a day. Oh, that's very serious. You have to follow in the same way. Okay, so otherwise, why will Krishna say, Sakale ne mahata yoganashta paranta, your knowledge is lost? If Bhagavad Gita was subject to interpretation and anybody can have any interpretation, then why does Krishna say the knowledge is lost? That means there is one standard meaning of Gita. And Krishna saw they have lost that meaning. Okay, one. Second thing is that how do you know that I'm telling the standard meaning? Maybe it's already lost in our parampara also. Yes. Two ways you can know it is. Suppose each parampara member is like extension cord. What is it? Extension cord. Now, if the extension cord is working, that means you should get a shock, isn't it? So, parampara be effective, should be having the same thing that happened when Krishna taught to Arjuna. What happened to Arjuna when he got the current of Bhagavad Gita, when he heard the Bhagavad Gita? Arjuna surrendered to Krishna. Not that some electric shock Arjuna got when he heard Krishna, no, like that. He heard. Throughout the Bhagavad Gita, he asked question, not to be privileged. This is the only book in the world. True, Vedas have many books like this, but this is the only book in the world compared to other religions where there is question answer. Not for some commandment, you just believe or go to hell. No, there is questioning. Krishna, you are teaching me this, you are telling your taught this knowledge to Sun God. How I'm going to believe this? This is the next question which will come from Arjuna. Straight. Not that you believe me or go to hell. No, sir. No, sir. This is not blind philosophy. Here there is questioning and understanding. Are you getting a point? Now, anyway, what happened to Arjuna after hearing Bhagavad Gita? He not only just hearing, he was asking questions, he was trying to understand on our behalf. And he asked if he is perfectly representing us. You have somebody, you would have nobody better than Arjuna. Right place, he asks the right questions so that it facilitates a clear understanding. If suppose Arjuna is there and you are there in some corner, you will say, Arjuna, can you ask this question in my behalf? Arjuna perfectly representing us asks the right questions so that we get a clear understanding of Bhagavad Gita. Now, most important thing is, I'll not take too much of your time on this slide, but this is a very important point. It says, Yoga Nashta Parantapa, knowledge is lost. That means there is standard knowledge. So how do you know knowledge is alive in the parampara presently? Maybe the knowledge is lost. Is it effective? When Arjuna heard Bhagavad Gita, he fell at the Krishna, became a devotee. So any book to be effective, just find out whether after reading the book or hearing about the book in a Guru Parampara, do people surrender to Krishna? Now that decision you have to make. I can't say, but for your information, ISKCON is having millions of full-time workers. You cannot count how many people following this book today. I also read this book in my college, became a devotee. The book worked. I was an atheist. I became a devotee. Not only true for me, other people around the world, even their father did not know the name of Krishna. And today they are devoted, dedicated devotees. ISKCON is famous for that. The book is working. Oh. And second thing, very important thing, what Arjuna understood in Bhagavad Gita is there within Gita itself. Why it's important? It's very important. What Arjuna understood is there, so your understanding of Bhagavad Gita should tally with the understanding of Arjuna in the Gita. Right from the 10th chapter, from the 10, 11, 8, 9, from the 12th verse, Arjuna speaks, Param Brahma, Param Dhamam, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavam, Purusham Shashvatam Devyam, Adi Deva Ajam Vibhum, Ahustva Rishaya Sarve, Deva Shi Narada Sata. So nice. Asito Deva Lo Vyasa, Swayamche Bhavishime. Krishna, you are Param Brahma. Krishna, Param, you are the supreme shelter. Pavitra, you are the purest. Parama, Bhavam, Purusha, you are a person, Krishna. Shashwata, you are eternal. Divyam, you are transcendental. Very nicely, Arjuna gives us understanding. Now, your understanding of Bhagavad Gita should tally with that. If it doesn't tally with that, then what you have understood? You cannot contradict what Arjuna understood. So very nice. Okay? So what happens to Arjuna when he hears this? Now this is our parampara, also to introduce Krishna Brahma Narada Veda Vyasa Madhvacharya Padmanabha Narhari Madhava Akshobhya Jayatirtha Jnana Sindhu Dayanidhi Vidyanidhi Rajendra Jayadharma Purushottama Brahmanya Tirtha Vyasa Tirtha Lakshmipati Tirtha Madhvendra Puri, Ishwar Puri, Lord Chaitanya, Rupa Goswamis, another Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Krishnadas Kaviraj Das Goswami, Narottam Das Thakur, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baladev Vidyabhushan, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, Sri Bhaksan Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, and Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So we see this is the parampara. There are, you can see 32 people. Now, 5,000 years, these are the prominent 32 people. How can you have 32 people in 5,000? There are many more. The important personalities are now listed here. Okay, you understand this? So this is our parampara. So anybody who's presenting Bhagavad Gita has to show his parampara. Otherwise, don't read it. Just like you want to get operation done. You say, so where did you get this surgery knowledge? No, I figured out. I figured out my home. So, okay, fine. Cannot risk my life. So I don't think any company also gives a job like that. No, why you want a job? Did you study computer science somewhere? No, I figured out. Yeah, figure out. Keep it at home. No, who will waste his time? So it has to be standard. You have to see person has been trained into the standard knowledge. Now Arjuna representing us said, wait a minute, Krishna. You are my contemporary. You say you taught knowledge to sun god. This incident, if I calculate, has happened 120 million years ago. How can I believe this? See how nice, and Arjuna is so frank with Krishna. Krishna, you're my contemporary. Arjuna and Krishna were of the same age, roughly. Bhima and Yudhishthira was elder. Therefore, when Krishna used to come to meet the Pandavas, Bhima and Yudhishthira used to give respect. And Nakula Sahadev used to give respect to Krishna. Out of the etiquette, he's the elder to them. And Arjuna and Krishna were of the same age. This is known. So there, the question is that Arjuna is saying, you say you taught the knowledge to sun god. Now, if I calculate this, Krishna, this happened 120 million years ago. How can I believe this? You have done this because you are my contemporary. Isn't it? Very clear question. Now, this is little bit understanding how Arjuna calculated that. I'll just give you, this is explanation of Vedic time scale, which is a little different from what we know, the time scale here. See, this is Kali Yuga, which is the Yuga we are in now. This the duration of Kali Yuga, 36,000 into 12, 4,32,000 years. Dwapar Yuga is double of that. Treta Yuga is triple of that. Satya Yuga is 4 times that. 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. 10 times the duration of Kali Yuga is the duration of one Divya Yuga or Chatur Yuga. Okay, is understood? It's 4 Yugas. Kali Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, Satya Yuga. Together, the combined together are 10 times the duration of Kali Yuga. Because this is double, this is triple, this is 4. 4, 3, 7 to 9 and 10. Okay, I hope you understood. 10 times the duration of Kali Yuga is one set of yugas. A Manu has 71 such cycles in his life. So there's 4.3 lakh, it becomes 4.3 million, 10 times. That is the duration of one Divya Yuga. 71 of that become 300, roughly 300 million years is the duration of Manu. Our Manu has now lived only 120 million years of his life. Therefore, sun god spoke the knowledge before the birth of his son, Vaivasvata Manu. That means he heard Bhagavad Gita at least 120 million years ago. That's Arjuna's calculation. Now, telling you some more thing going forward. There are 14 Manus in a day of Brahma. Or another way, Brahma, one day, 12 hours, is 1,000 cycles of this Kali Yuga. No, sorry, 1,000 cycle of this Divya Yuga. 1,000 Divya Yugas, 12 hours of Brahma. Therefore, 4.3 million became 4.3 billion. Million into 1,000 is billion. Or other way calculate, 71 into 14 is also 1,000. There are 71 cycles in a day in every Manu life. There are 14 Manus in a day of Brahma. So 1,000 cycles are there in a day of Brahma. So that becomes 4.32 billion years. 71 into 14 is 1,000. Now, this is just 12 hours of Brahma. Brahma's day is 24 hours, day and night. So 24 hours of Brahma is 8.64 billion years, double of this. Brahma has like this 30 days into 12, 360 days like this becomes 1 year. Into 100 is life. Life of Brahma comes 311.04 trillion years. And our Brahma presently is 50-year-old. He has finished half his life. So roughly Brahma's life is 155.02 trillion years. You know, when in modern cosmology, previously they had understanding from other scriptures. They say the creation happened 6,000 years ago. This is what the many scientists used to feel. When they started research and studies, they had to change their views because it came in billion. Earth life, roughly according to science, is 4.5 billion years. And the universe, what they know of, is something 17 billion years. So they were totally frustrated with other religions because their understanding is only 6,000 years ago. This is what is this 6,000? Just doesn't, ABCD doesn't match total. So they came to study in India. What do Vedas say? They were for a shock because they were very proud. They got a big time scale. Here it is trillion years. You are only in billion years. But how do you reconcile the data? The problem is that you are thinking about one creation. But here the Vedas talk about cycle of creation and destruction. There is creation every day. And in every Manvantara also there is destruction. And also there is destruction in the night of Brahma. There is cycle of creation, destruction happening every day of Brahma. Every day evening, Brahma almost destroys the whole creation. Almost. Some place he leaves. And in the morning, again he creates. It's just like taking bath and wearing new clothes. That's all for him. So easy for him. And in between Manus, in a day of Brahma, Manvantara, sometimes there is again Pralaya, destruction. There is destruction, creation, destruction, creation. Therefore, you're finding lesser time than the trillion years of Brahma. Forget about Brahma's time, which maybe you cannot even see his place, which is much more duration. And anyway, you also have a process of calculation, which may be defective. So many things we make, and then we, oh, my calculation was wrong. Science is not absolute; it is just some speculation. So, but this is absolute. We are not changing this calculation anytime. Standard from millions of years, the same calculation. So this is a bit of understanding about Vedic time. Okay. This I calculated life of Brahma, presently how much she is living. I think this presentation was made few years ago, 5,117. I think it's now 5,121 years after the Kali Yuga. That doesn't matter much because Brahma life is in trillions of years. Total is coming 155.522 trillion years is the life of Brahma. Can you imagine? Oh, my some friend, Russian translation he has done below. Accepting that before birth of Manu, the Gita was spoken, so we can understand the life of Manu. You can calculate 21 cycles are over, so this many years. In this cycle, Satya Titra Dwapar is over. We are in the Kali Yuga. And then in Kali Yuga, how much time is over? So total life calculation is something like 120 million years. I calculated the life of Manu. Therefore, because Gita was heard by Sun God before the birth of his son Manu, Vaivasvata Manu, Gita was spoken to Sun God 120 million years ago. So that's Arjuna's question. How can I believe this, Krishna? Oh, I'll go to my friend, Russian friend has given you some. So Teta Dwapar and Kali Yuga is so many million years. Time elapsed in Kali Yuga is therefore 5,000. So Gita came on earth 2 million years ago. Okay, this is easy. Why I say 5 times? Because 2 times is Dwapar Yuga. Because this is a quotation from Shanti Parva Mahabharata by my friend translated to Russian, if you can read. He's translating these presentations to Russian. So Dwapar Yuga is double, Treta Yuga is triple. So 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 times the duration of Kali Yuga is around 2 million years ago. Gita was came on earth. Because Mahabharata says during this time Manu talked to uh, his son. Manu talked to his son Ikshvaku. And the knowledge came on earth 2 million years ago. Oh, this was also calculation. Chalo. Take it done. I was even calculating after that, going forward, our some calculation. What is one life of Brahma? What is one, year of Brahma? What is 1 minute of Brahma? 1 second of Brahma is 1 lakh years. Can't believe it. 1 second of Brahma is over 1 lakh years. This is a comparative calculation. Okay, in the notes, I'll give you the exact thing. We are also teaching in Russian, so one team is translating to Russian. How does Krishna appear? Now Krishna answers. Now Arjuna's question is, how can I believe this Krishna you taught to Sun God? And I show you some calculation. Why does he have a doubt? Now, actually, this question by Arjuna makes Krishna reveal his identity different from us. Ajo apisan avayatma bhutanameshwaro apisan prakritim samadhishtaya samavami atmamaya. All the unborn, my transcendental body never deteriorates, and all the I am the Lord of all the sentient beings, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. So Krishna is now revealing his divinity, being separate from us. Krishna is unborn. We are also unborn. But there is something more. Transcendental body never deteriorates. Our body deteriorates. Krishna doesn't come in a material body. When he's born like this. By mistake also we should not think Krishna was like one of us. There are some fools teaching you. It's not true. Krishna is born like this. Are you born like that? Krishna first came, Bhagavatam explained, in the heart of Vasudeva. Then he went to the heart of Devaki. There is no seminal injection of, just like husband makes his wife pregnant. That's not the why how Devaki got pregnant. Krishna was in the heart of, appeared in the heart of Vasudeva. And Vasudeva, being a pure devotee, great soul, had a pleasurable darshan of the Lord within his heart. Then he went to the heart of Devaki. This is not the way you are born, heart to heart. Then went to the womb of Devaki for some time, so called. And then she was so called pregnant, and then came out and stood like this, Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. Isn't it unbelievable? Can anybody is born like this? We are all born crying. Krishna is born like this, with all jewels, with garland, with his all weapons, Shank, Gada and Chakra. Where the two things are for pleasure of the devotees, Shankha and Padma. Two things are for punishing the miscreants. And then after that, Vasudeva Devaki offered beautiful prayers to Krishna. Beautiful prayers. And then after that, Krishna took the form of a small child. He said, okay, now, Vasudevaji, take me. Take me to Vrindavan. Because the childhood pastimes of Krishna can be only handled by Yashoda, not Devaki. She can't handle them. They're very advanced. You have to be able to handle. These are all drama, fear of Kamsa and all. Krishna had nothing to fear from anybody. You could have killed him that moment. But Krishna wants, Krishna's incarnation is actually not to kill Kamsa. That he could have done so many ways. Wants to show the Leela without awe and reverence, which was exhibited in Vrindavan, which is very unique among all incarnation. So now Krishna says, Yada yada hi dharmasya. This shloka I think all of you know. Admins, my voice is clear? Hare Krishna. My voice is clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam sajamiham. Kindly note, there is no word Hindu dharma here. Yada yada hi Hindu dharmasya. No, Krishna doesn't speak all this word. That word Hindu and all doesn't exist in Gita. There's a science of God being spoken, science of soul being spoken. It is relevant for everybody on earth. Whenever there is a dharma glani, what is dharma glani? What is dharma first? Dharma doesn't refer to faith. Dharma is something. Let us understand this. So sugar has a dharma to be sweet. If you remove the intrinsic property of sugar, it's not sugar at all. Salt has also something, some kind of taste. You remove the taste, it's not salt and it's something else. Similarly, what is the dharma of the soul, which you cannot remove from the soul? That is doing service. If you remove that, it is no longer soul. What is the property of the soul we cannot remove from the soul? That is to offer service. Now, the service spirit, when it is connected to the Lord, gives total satisfaction to us. See, look at us, all of us. We're trying to serve somebody. We're all trying to impress somebody. Anna? We're all trying to make somebody happy. That's true for everybody. When that thing turns toward the Lord, that gives total satisfaction to the heart. That is called dharma. When this process of surrendering to the Lord is being interrupted, when the very purpose of creation is to facilitate surrender of living entities to the Lord is being interrupted, that is called dharma glani. Just like a hospital is made with a mission and clear purpose, a jail is made with a clear mission and purpose. This creation also has a vision mission. Just like today we go to any college, they written vision mission, any company, vision mission. That's, I don't know, that's ISO requirement or whatever everybody puts it. Same way, what is the vision of this creation by the Lord? It has a vision. It's not created accidentally. It's designed by the Lord with the purpose to give a chance to us to know about Him. So when this process of knowing about God and loving Him, that is our dharma, is interrupted, the Lord comes down. Just like in a jail, when the very reformation process for which the jail is made interrupted, the army comes in. Suppose the jailers start fighting with each other, army comes in. They'll not allow the prisoners to do anything and everything because the jail has a purpose, mission to reform them. Suppose that is being interrupted, then what's the use of jail? So middle word also has a purpose. And the people like Kamsa or other are disturbing devotees in their in the pursuit of spiritual elevation, the Lord comes down. And what does he do when he comes down? Paritranaya sadhuna. He protects his devotees. What is the meaning of sadhu? Sadhu means so participating in the purpose of creation. Sadhu. Sadhu means good. Paritranaya sadhuna. Vinashaya miscreants who are actually against the process of self-purification, self-development. They are against that. Vinashaya dushkitam. They're causing interruption in the Lord's plan in this world. Krishna comes down like an army comes in. And look at the picture, how beautiful is Krishna. He's a 12-year-old boy at this time. That is just physical. Krishna showed all different forms of different age till 16, 18. After that, he didn't show anything else. Krishna remained in that age form for rest of the life. His body he exhibited was spiritual, not material body. You cannot show Vishwarupa with spirit, with material body. We cannot lift a mountain with material body. Krishna's body is spiritual. Sachidananda Vigraha. Ishvara Parava Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. See, I'm taking philosophically, but at least Krishna's grace repeating from Parampara. I'm quite privileged to repeat, and also proud to have the privilege to repeat what Parampara says. Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkita. Krishna is here protecting the sadhus. That is his focus. And automatically, during in that force of protecting his devotees, the miscreants are eliminated. Dharma sansthapanartha. In this way, I establish dharma. Again, not Hindu dharma, dharma. The Hindu dharma today is you follow anything and everything, put a rubber stamp Hindu dharma. No meaning. Dharma means as explained in Gita Bhagavatam. That knowledge, dharma sansthapanarthaya, to establish dharma, process of self-realization. Samvami yuga yuga. I come in every yuga. Okay? But then the question will be, I think yesterday I have shown at me, Devika Mataji, yesterday I showed Lord Chaitanya prediction. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna admin. Mataji, Priyadarshini.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yesterday we talked about Lord Chaitanya, no? Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji. It's
Thank
changed.
you. So, Yuga Yuga, he comes in every Yuga. Therefore, he comes in Kali Yuga also as Lord Chaitanya to establish Dharma. Now, Krishna continues now talking about himself. Janma karma chame divya. My all birth and activities are transcendental. Divya means it's not ordinary. We also see it's not ordinary. Krishna taking, and this is what is it? We were worshipping for a whole month. Kartik month is just over on 30th of November. What we are saying? Janma karma chame divya. We saw the birth is transcendental, even activities are transcendental. Janma karma chame divya. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvataha taktva deham punarjanma neti mam iti swarjana. Everybody know the Damodar Leela. You know, Duryodhana with his some equally foolish friends had tried to arrest Krishna when Krishna had gone for the peace proposal. And he could not do that. Krishna showed mini Vishwarupa and they were all stunned. Here, Mother Yashoda arrested Krishna. She tied him. So she's more powerful than all these foolish warriors. She tied him by her love, not by the ropes. Takta deham punarjama. Therefore, Krishna's activities are a little spiritual and transcendental. If you understand this, you will not take birth again in this world. Naiti mamitu swarjana. Janma karma chame devyam evam yoveti tatvataha. Tatvata means in clarity, if you understand Krishna's birth and activities, you will not take birth again in this world. And you'll go back to the spiritual world. And whatever relation you have a relation to Krishna like a mother, like this every day he'll play with you. He's like a toy in your hand. You play with him for eternity. And he'll give so much spiritual happiness. Because relation is spiritual. He'll give you so much spiritual happiness. Just one thing. He'll give you so much spiritual happiness that you'll be totally satisfied. Oh, my Russian friend. What's the difference between Krishna and us? Look at it. We are controlled by Maya and Krishna is controller of Maya. There is a difference. Our form is temporary. Yes, it is made of, our body is different. And with difference between you and the body. Krishna's body is spiritual. There is no difference between Krishna and the body. Second thing, we are controlled by Maya. Krishna is a controller of Maya. Okay? So this way there is difference between you and God. You don't think you are God anyway. Has anybody in the history, so Krishna says here, anybody, if you know about Krishna, you don't take birth again. Has anybody in the history been able to know Krishna? वीतराग भया क्रोधा मनमया मामुपाश्रितः बहुवो ज्ञान तपसा पूतमद्भाव मागतः. Krishna, this is a very beautiful shloka. Uh, Actually, I can explain each shloka. They'll take some time also, but then the thread of thoughts will get lost. In brief, I'll explain. Vita means to become free from attachment, fear, and anger. These three are disqualification in spiritual life. You should not be attached. You should not be full of fear. You should not be full of anger. These three are, has to be given up if you want to develop in spiritual life. Vita raga bhaya krodha manamaya mamupashita. Being free from three things. Manamaya, Mamupashitaha, you take shelter of Krishna. And how many people? Bahavo. Many people have done this in the past by cultivating knowledge and by severe austerities. Just like understanding Bhagavad Gita, there is one part. A second part, we always request you to chant the holy name. Bahavo jnana tapasa puta. Puta means being purified. Madhvam agataha. Person reaches the spiritual nature. Vitaraga bhaya krodha manamaya mamupashitaha. Bahavo jnana tapasa puta madhbhavam agataha. ये यता मा प्रपद्यन्ते ताम तथैव भजाम्यहम् ममा वर्तमानो वर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वसहा. See, this cow goes to Krishna's lotus feet. See how beautiful is Krishna's lotus feet. These are all paintings of ISKCON. Unimaginable. They paint as if this is photographs. How beautiful it is. But cow goes to Krishna. Krishna embraces. He reciprocates. And Balaram is messaging Krishna's lotus feet. Krishna is messaging his feet. Krishna reciprocates. Okay, so this much is clear. 11 shloka. So Arjuna, Krishna informs him the knowledge to be taught. He taught the knowledge to sun god. And Arjuna asks Krishna, how did it happen? How can it is possible? Krishna says, no, Arjuna, I'm not like you. I'm special. Ajo apisan. I'm unborn and I'm inexhaustible. And totally by my own wish. I'm the Lord of all this. Prakritim Samad Bhutanam Ishwara. I'm the Lord of all the living entities. I'm not a Jiva like you. I'm Supreme Lord. I still appear in many in my own transcendental form. Not like you, born by force in certain family. No. In a material body. No. And why do I come? Yada yada. Why do I come? Wherever dharma glani happens, I come. What do? I do this. I protect my devotees and eliminate the miscreants. And if you understand my life properly, Arjuna, you'll come back to the spiritual kingdom. I told you again and again, Krishna is inviting us back to his spiritual world. And I explained this. So anybody, yes, many people in the past, and to the degree you surrender, to that degree Krishna will reciprocate. But people generally don't surrender to Krishna. They are more interested in some personal facilities. Somehow they can get, they are more happy. This thing will be addressed now. Your fourth chapter very carefully in the seventh chapter. That time we will continue on this point, 12 shloka. Now let us proceed. Krishna says, Chatur Varna Maya Shishtam. There are four Varnas: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. This is not by birth. Chatur Varna, four categories. It's a very scientific division. Sometimes it was so badly misused. It is even thought as a defect in the Vedas by common mass of people around the world. The Vedas, or so-called Hinduism, there is a defect of caste system. There is no caste system in the Vedas. Rather, a scientific division of society according to their ability. Even you pass 12th class, you have to give various exams today. And by that, it is determined what profession you can enter. Only when you get good marks, you can enter medical profession or an engineering profession. Otherwise, you take chartered accountants or you take, say, something else. Each so many categories are there. Based on your interest and your abilities, you get that profession. Isn't it today? But not so properly organized. Try to understand this. It is based on guna. A person who is very sattvic, whose body is pure and mind is also pure, develops urge for knowledge. he should do the work of a Brahmana. Person who's Rajasic, body is pure, but mind has not developed desire for some prestige, for some wealth, let him do the work of Kshatriya or a Vaishya. And person whose mind is totally disturbed and bodily also is very lethargic, let him do work of a Shudra. That's it. It is not done anything to do with birth. Today also you divide like that only if you can, but apart happens. A person who has no qualification becomes a Brahmana, person with a qualification becomes a Kshatriya or a Vaishya. So this is a separate issue. If everybody is qualified for the job, just like in a body, head represent Brahmana department, give direction. Arms represent Kshatriya department, give protection. Belly Vaishya department, we give energy to the whole body. And legs, Shudra department supports the whole thing. It's the same thing. Try to understand there is no difference. The body is divided. You're saying the division, your body itself is divided into 4 parts. Why not have only head all the time? No, different functions are needed. So society also different functions are needed. Let it be done by the people who are qualified for that job. That's it. The very scientific division of society. But the goal of this should not be forgotten. Goal is to satisfy Krishna, just like in a temple. Now we had some time ago Janmashtami. Now somebody was doing Abhisheka, somebody was taking class, somebody was decorating the temple, somebody was cooking. Nobody's higher and lower. All are important. But according to ability, we divide the work. So similarly, society should be divided with the focus to pleasure of the Lord. When that focus was lost, then the whole Varnashram became exploitation. One class of people exploiting another class of people. My birth is what do you have to do with your birth? You're son of a doctor, you don't become a doctor. That is a big deviation. Son of doctor doesn't become doctor. He has to study. Similarly, son of Brahmana is not a Brahmana. Simply waste claiming I'm a Brahmana, show your thread. What is the use? So birth is not important because Krishna says this division should be based on guna and karma. Janma, the word doesn't exist here. Chatu varna maya system, guna karma vibhagasha. Please divide it based on guna and karma. So people should be qualified by ethical qualities and also by abilities. Today, I see in the placement that happens in colleges, I expose mostly to engineering colleges, medical colleges don't have placement like that. What happens? The placement is done based only on karma. They see his marks and the interview marks. Very little they have a scientific division of the qualities. What I told you, sattvic, rasic, and tam, they don't have that. But this is talking about a very scientific division. Even in Gita, in the 18th chapter, the guna are explained for each varna. 9 qualities of a Brahmana, 7 qualities of a Kshatriya, 3 qualities of a Vaishya, 1 quality of a Shudra. And in Vasudeva's discussion with Narada teaches that Vasudeva in the 7th canto of Bhagavatam more details about each varna and ashrama. So that is there. Okay. So it's nothing to do with birth. It's based on guna and karma. It's very scientific division. Should be there. But we cannot revive it back, but at least principles should be appreciated. Namam karmani limpanti namay karma phale spriya iti mam yo vijanati karma bhi nasabadyate. The Krishna says, Namam karmani limpanti. No work that binds me. Namay karma phale spriya. Nor I am asked after any fruits of action. Iti mam yo vijanati karma bhi nasabadyate. Okay? And person who doesn't understand this, person who understands it doesn't get entangled. Even though Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Krishna creates the system in this world, that I am not bound by that. Whatever role Krishna plays is independent of the different roles. Just because Arjuna driving chariot of Arjuna, he doesn't become Shudra because that's a work, a driver of somebody. You see here, Krishna is even fighting sometime. Krishna is taking care of the cows sometime. Krishna is driving Arjuna's chariot sometime. No, Krishna remains independent of all this varnashrama. He is beyond. At this point, before we now close the chapter, every chapter I will take only 40 minutes to finish. So this is very important principle here is that karma, vikarma, akarma. Because the shloka says, Krishna says, karmano api bodhavyam, bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha, akarmanas cha bodhavyam, kahana karmano gatihi. Try to understand, Arjuna, what is karma. Karma means good activity. Like there is an example in the right side, of Rantideva king in the Bhagavatam. Very charitable, very nice person. Bodhavya Vikarmana. Vikarmana is on the top, sinful activities. Akarmana. What is the karma? Karma means pious, good punya. Vikarma means papa. These two we know, but we don't know about akarma. Akarma is what you're doing now, hearing Bhagavad Gita, or Narada, chanting the Lord's holy name. It's neither punya papa, it is akarma. So akarma is a different bank account. Vikarma is another bank account. They don't cancel each other, they're different. But akarma is another bank account where activity is just done for the Lord's pleasure. What is it called? Akarma. And then Krishna talks about tad vidhi. If you want to know spiritual knowledge, tad vidhi pranipatena. You should take shelter of an acharya. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Tad vidhi pranipatena. You take shelter of an acharya pariprashnena and inquire very submissively. Sevaya. There's a process to know. That vidhi, if you want to know spiritual knowledge, pranipatena, just like you take admission in a college. No college is going to teach you. Say you want to become a doctor, go to college. I've come. Isn't professor that I can discuss about what is medical science? They say, no, this is not the way we teach. Please take admission in the college, attend the classes, do all the practicals, and you have to come at particular time. You have to give all the exams. You have to agree to this. Correct. And also they have big fees. In spiritual knowledge, at least Vedas, education was free. We today dream of free education. Vedic time, education was free. There was no cost. Yes, if you want, you can give some dakshina, but no cost. Therefore, we also kept the course free. No cost. Yes, somebody wants to give donation, welcome. We are spending a lot of money in organs. So that's a separate issue, but we don't ask. Tad vidhi pranipatena. We have to submissively listen. Pariprashena. Pariprashena is not challenging. With respect. So this Arjuna asked Krishna. Krishna taught the knowledge to sun god, but I have a question. Sevaya. Upadakshanti te jnanam. Jnanina tattadashina. The guru will give all knowledge to you because he's seeing the truth. It's a beautiful statement. Okay, so the chapter finishes. We're exactly at 7 o'clock. Hare Krishna. On dot we finished. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Ekalavya. What Krishna's color? No, Krishna's color was always like that. It is transcendental blue, like a cloud. Okay? Not like blue, what we know, in the word of black, what we know. Okay, Hare Krishna. So there is a very beautiful video made by our devotees. They did a dance drama in England because this chapter is about yada yada dharmasya glani bhavati. Correct? Krishna comes. Sammovami yuge yuge. Would you like everybody like to see? It's just a 10-minute dance drama on the Dashavatara. Very beautiful, done in England by two devotees because this chapter was about different avatars of Krishna. But you know, Bhagavad Gita is in brief. When you read Bhagavatam, there is narration of different avatars. In fact, after you finish Bhagavad Gita, I wish you to study Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is very, very, very beautiful. Talks all the leelas of the Lord. Okay, I think we all enjoy that. It's just 10 minutes. And then we continue with our discussion of this chapter. It will be